My name is Sophia Smith. I am 67 years old, and I live alone in a small house near the old railway tracks. People say the train stopped coming many years ago, but I still wait for one train, the train that should bring my son back. Every morning, I wake up before sunrise. The wind outside shakes the windows, and the wooden walls make little sounds. This house is old, but it holds my whole life. I make myself tea in a tiny cup. I sit on the porch and watch the empty railway line. I imagine a young boy running on that road laughing. That boy was my son, Marco. When Marco was a child, this house was always full of noise. He used to run around with his small toy train, making loud choo-choo sounds. I can still hear that sound in my heart. His father, Devin, worked at the railway station. Every evening, Marco waited for his father's train to arrive. He would jump with joy when he saw him walk out of the engine room. Our life was simple. We didn't have much money, but we had love. We had each other. But when Marco turned 18, he said something that broke my heart. He wanted to leave our town. He wanted a bigger life, a better future. I understood. A mother always understands. He said, "Mom, I will come back soon. I promise." He hugged me tightly, kissed my forehead, and left with one bag. That was 19 years ago. At first, he wrote letters every week. He told me about his job, his friends, his dreams. His handwriting always looked rushed, as if he wrote while standing on a busy street. Then the letters came once a month, then once in 3 months, then once in a year, and then nothing. I waited for a letter. I waited for a call. But the silence grew heavier, like a stone on my chest. But one thing kept me alive. Before leaving, Marco told me, "Mom, whenever I come home again, I will come by train. Stand near the tracks. I want to see you first." So, I waited. And I kept waiting. Every evening, I stood near the railway line, even though trains no longer ran. Even though people told me to stop dreaming. But a mother never stops waiting. A mother's heart never gives up. My neighbors were kind. Mrs. Wilson often brought me bread. Mr. Carter repaired my old roof when it almost fell. They said, "Sophia, you should stay with your sister. You shouldn't live alone." But I always answered the same thing. What if Marco returns and I'm not here? They sighed. They smiled sadly, because they knew I would never leave. One cold evening, as I sat with a blanket on my knees, a car stopped outside my house. A young woman stepped out. She looked around 25, with dark hair and nervous eyes. She walked slowly to my porch. "Are you Mrs. Sophia Smith?" she asked. My heart started beating fast. My hands began to shake. "Yes," I said softly. "Who are you?" She took a deep breath. "My name is Anna. I know your son, Marco." Something inside me woke up, like a candle burning again, like hope rushing back into a dark room. "Is he okay?" I asked quickly. "Where is he? Why didn't he come home?" Her eyes filled with tears. Anna sat next to me and held my hands. "Mrs. Smith, Marco passed away 2 years ago." The world around me started shaking. I couldn't hear her voice anymore. It felt like the air disappeared. No, no, I whispered. My boy promised me. He promised he would come back. Anna placed her head on my shoulder and cried. He always talked about you. He always wanted to return. But life was hard for him. He had an accident. He didn't survive. My tears fell silently. My heart felt like it was breaking piece by piece. But even in that pain, one question came out. Why didn't he ever come home? Anna wiped her tears. He was ashamed. He felt he failed you. He thought you deserved a better son. He didn't want you to see him struggle. My breath shook. My voice trembled. He didn't have to be perfect. He just had to come home. Anna nodded with a heavy heart. Anna reached into her bag. I came to give you this. Marco wrote it before he died. He told me to bring it to you if something happened to him. I opened the letter with trembling hands. The paper was old and folded many times. It said, Mom, I'm sorry I didn't come back. Life was hard and I was weak. But I never stopped loving you. I carry your love everywhere. If one day I don't return, please remember, you were the best mother, and I never forgot you. Marco. The words blurred as my tears fell on the page. I held the letter to my chest and cried in silence. Anna stayed with me that night. She cooked for me. She placed a blanket on my shoulders. She held my hand whenever I cried. Before leaving, she said softly, Mrs. Smith, Marco loved you his whole life. He wanted peace for you. Please don't wait at the empty tracks anymore. But how could I stop? For 19 years, waiting was all I knew. Every minute of my life was tied to the hope that he would return. Yet now, the truth was clear. My son wasn't on any train. He wasn't coming down the road. He wasn't walking toward this house ever again. The next morning, I woke up early as always. I walked to the tracks out of habit. The sunrise painted the sky with soft orange colors. But this time, I didn't stand there to wait. I stood to say goodbye. I whispered, My boy, you can rest now. I am not angry. You did your best, and I will always love you. The wind moved gently through the dry grass. For the first time in years, I felt a strange peace, like a heavy door inside my heart had finally closed. After that day, Anna began visiting me every Sunday. Sometimes she brought flowers, sometimes she brought tea. Sometimes she brought only her presence. One Sunday, she hugged me tightly and said, I lost my mother when I was little, but when I'm with you, I feel like I have one again. Tears filled my eyes. For years, I waited for my son, but now, someone else's child was holding my hand. Life works in strange, gentle ways. Months passed. I slowly stopped going to the railway tracks. I started spending more time in the garden, planting flowers Marco loved. I cooked again. I cleaned my house again. I laughed again, sometimes softly, sometimes unexpectedly. I realized something important. A mother never stops loving, but she must learn to live. My waiting did not end. It simply changed. Now I waited for Sunday, for Anna's footsteps, for her smile at my door. Maybe I lost a son, but life sent me another heart to care for. I no longer stand near the train tracks. I don't look for a train that will never come. Instead, I hold Marco's letter close to my heart, and I thank life for giving me one last gift before my story ends.